We got some reaction from the president just a short time ago, right after he declassified the memo, but before it had been released publicly. Some very tough words here from the president of the United States. Here's what he said.
The memo was sent to Congress. It was declassified. Congress will do whatever they're going to do. But I think it's a disgrace what's happening in our country. And when you look at that and you see that and so many other things, what's going on, a lot of people should be ashamed of themselves.
So what have we learned here? Here are some of the key claims in the Nunes memo that's just been made public by the House Intelligence Committee. We learned that the Steele dossier compiled on behalf of the DNC and the Clinton campaign formed a key part of the Carter Page FISA application. That is the application that law enforcement makes to spy, essentially, on Carter Page, who was affiliated at one point with the Trump campaign. The FBI did not disclose, the memo says, that the DNC or the Clinton campaign had been funding Steele's efforts to the court that was issuing the FISA warrant. So that means ultimately the FBI should have, I'm told by sources, included any information that it had in terms of Steele's methodology, who he was working for, where he was getting paid, what his ideology was. All of that should have been caveated in the FISA application. The Nunes memo says it wasn't, so we'll have to wait for some answers here on why exactly that happened. We had a statement from the FBI before the memo was released expressing some concern here. They said, we have grave concerns about the material omissions of fact that fundamentally impact the memo's accuracy. So there are some questions here about what might be missing from this memo from the FBI's perspective. Was there other evidence other than the Steele dossier that was used as part of this FISA application? No reaction from the FBI since the memo has been made public, but we do have a reaction here from the FBI Agents Association, which put out this statement saying FBI special agents have not and will not allow partisan politics to distract us from our solemn commitment to our mission. So, Steve, a lot of intrigue swirling around here and a lot of questions now, Tyler, being raised in terms of what exactly this memo has revealed and whether there's going to be an effort now to release the Democratic counterpart to this memo, which the Democrats say debunks the content of the memo that was just released today. Back over to you.
And as you point out, it is not clear whether there was other evidence in this application for a FISA warrant that may have been a part of it. Presumably some of that, quote, other evidence might be included in a Democratic memo. Does that Democratic memo then have to be approved for release by the Republican majority on that committee?
It does, and the majority has already voted not to release it. The White House, though, says that if Congress decides to release it, they'd be happy with that, too. They say that they're in favor of transparency here at the White House. And one of the questions is, could they release it, though? Because some of that information may be classified. There could be a secret Russian source or a technological collection effort that they don't want to admit that they have, that they can't reveal in putting out that information.
Very
so
quickly,
they could be hamstrung.
Eamon, refresh my memory. Chairman Nunes, who is the person who released this memo and who, with his staff, wrote it, is the same fellow who earlier last year recused himself from the Russia investigation because basically he was sharing evidence that had been given to him with the president before taking it to his committee. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Last year, he was involved in an episode in which it appeared that he was working too closely with the White House on working on a series of information that the White House wanted to put out. So Nunes recused himself from this investigation, but it's an odd situation because he hasn't been totally removed from the situation. And of course, this investigation is the most important thing the House Intelligence Committee is working on, and he remains the chairman of that committee right now.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.